Quick Christmas gift list. Stuff we built in the shop, then some new real stuff. You're really going to enjoy that. And we're going to talk some golf club equipment, fittings, and repairs next on What's in My Drawers Golf Talk. Welcome back to What's in My Drawers Golf Talk. And we're in the McGolf shop, and this is where we talk about club reviews, club repairs, club fittings. Also, your scores can go low. Why is it what in my drawers? Because old club makers and club fitters are tremendous pack rats, and I'm no different. And this little how shall we say live stream has grown into across the world, and we love getting out there and talking golf equipment with you guys. So, as we always do, real quick, stuff we did in the shop, right? Stuff we did in the shop. This is for a Master Chief, a retired Master Chief. Some Mizunos, we fit this Master Chief. He is a retiree. He retired from the Navy, got another job. He's retired from that one as well. Just an outstanding individual, even if he is from a carrier. And just good guy to talk to. Is really nice. So I talked about it, sea stories all day long. Well, that was what he fit into, along with some Nippons or Nippons in the 950Gs. And as you can see, the Jumbo Max in the ultralight. And we almost stumbled across that, not going to it. I did the iron test that I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still continuing that. I'm going to keep continuing that as long as the grips hold out. And he actually really enjoyed those. He liked the bigger grip. He liked the way it came around. Did very, very well, as a matter of fact. Some other stuff that we did that's still in the shop. Mrs. McGolf. Look at this bad boy. If that's not pink, I don't know what is. Now, this is what it's on. A Ping Zing. How old? 13-year-old? The 13-year-old girl is playing those. And apparently she's a very tall 13-year-old. And she likes pink. So we got some pink from the likes of Star and built them up. And we're ready to go with that one. Mark, the last week when we talked about the hitting of low handicap guys, Mark was one of them, and he left me a new putter to reshaft, which is the Crew putter, and I had to look them up. And basically, what you do is you get this particular shape, and you can have it either setting out here and here with different kinds of flow necks, twists, the whole 9 yards to make a custom milled putter. And what we put on his, I don't think you're going to be able to. Oh, there you go. We put a LA Golf putter shaft in it, and the LA putter shaft is a heavier shaft, very stiff. We've put some in a couple of other shafts for him, or in a couple other putters, and made them to spec. The new addition for him is the putter grip, and it's the Garson, the Tour Max, the Garson Tour Max. And if you look at this guy, you'll notice that it's a bigger round, but instead of the flat being on top, you have the crease that's on top. And then what you do is your thumbs will oppose on there, and that's how you would hold on to it and putt it. And what that ends up doing is it forces your elbows to the inside so that you make a more consistent putt. Okay, and it does tend to work. I played with one for quite some time on a different putter, and it does work. This one it's a softer grip with that rubber exterior coating on it. It's actually kind of nice. So we got that. The other thing for Mark, as I told you, we went, and you guys have asked me whether or not I knew about the red cogs and the green cogs from Callaway. And the answer to that was no, I did not. However, I needed a red cog. And the difference between a red cog and I don't know if you can see it. There you go. A red cog and a green cog and a black cog, and you can't even see it. Above that little white line, there's another line, and it's painted red. And I'm in too dark of a space for you to be able to see it. but it's red. And so this one is a degree or two flatter, where the green cog is a degree or two stronger. They go green, strong like Hulk, and this one is just flatter. So we got to do some quick changing in his graphite design, the UB that we put in his other club. We're going to put this one there, flatten it down, and I think he's just going to absolutely melt his new. We got him into a Callaway triple diamond, and so that I think that one's he was landing them all at 300. So yeah, he's not going to complain, and in pretty decent circle. So we've got that one. The other part is that congratulations was it to Thakala and Hoagie for winning the was it the QBE, and next week is going to be a television spectacle, I think, with the father and son. You're going to see Annika and her son. You're going to see Tiger and Charlie. You're going to see Daly and his kid, and amongst others. But those would be the primary, people that you're going to see on the TV, unless somebody just comes out of the gate super hot. And they very well may. All right. So the other part is we talked last week about the demo stuff, and we did sell some. I still have the STX, and it's in a 9.5, and this is what it looks like. All right, 9.5, and I cleaned out the adapter, so it's ready for a shaft or a head. And then I've got another STX, and this is a 12 degree. So for you guys that need to get it up in the air just a little bit more, you see how the weight's here a little bit more, so it's a little more draw bias. It's not a truckload. Now, both of these clubs set a little bit flat. And so if you have a flatter swing plane, and you're looking to kill some spin, these are the clubs that will do that. Then I've got a Srixon club. This is the ZX7. This is a lefty, and this is a 10.5. And we still have the righty. Yeah, I think we have the righty version of this, and I actually have a shaft or two that fit them, so we can be out there with that. All right, so the topic. Before we get to there, to get with the fitting stuff, I fit a couple of gentlemen this weekend. Did some loft and lies, did some gap sessions. It was really kind of neat. The gapping sessions were really fun to deal with, and getting people to the right distances and having to change things. It was neat to see some ideas or thought processes change, right? Sometimes you need a 3 degree change, sometimes a 4 or 5, just depending on how well you struck the club at that time. And that's what we were seeing. I fit a guy in his 70s, and he was still swinging, still hitting the ball very, very well. He'll be shooting his age very, very shortly. Okay, so Christmas gifts, right? Christmas gifts. I was going to do a video, and I decided against it only because it's the video is very seasonal, and if they want to see it, if you want to show your significant other about this, then we can talk about it. So what I did is I classified them in gifts under 25, 50, 100, and then 500, and we can talk about others as well. So under the 25, and I got some examples. One of the very first ones under 25, right? Divot tools, right? Divot tools, whether they be a pitch fix, right? One that does like that, and whether it does like that, comes with a ball marker, and in some cases it will come with a sharpener, or whether it's something from your favorite sporting team, whether you're a football fan, a baseball fan, whatever, or even a college, or if you want to support your local golf club, something in that nature. And sometimes they're a full-on divot tool instead of one that collapses. There's just plenty of different kinds that are out there. The whole idea is a divot tool. Now, what it comes with is normally hat clips. And I'm a big hat clip guy because I don't like digging in my pockets for stuff, and I'll pull that off of there. So those are some of the things. Of course, I wouldn't be us if we didn't have a plug. But if you're looking for a various kind like that, we have several. Still have several colors, and there we go. Okay, the other one is a golf towel. Now, when it comes to golf towels, I'm very, very particular. Uh, there for as many golf balls out there, there's golf towels. There's velour towels, there's trifold towels, bifold towels, towels with magnets in them, towels with slots, soft towels, smooth towels. Just, the Frogger towel was one that you could take out and lay it out in the wet and put your golf club in it to keep it dry. Okay. So in my travels, I actually got to go to a couple of tournaments and I was watching the caddies. I'm like, well, what is it you got? And they said it was the club glove, and it was a towel that was very long, and it had a slot in the middle, much like this one does, right? A slot in the middle, and what you did is you just hung it on a golf club, or you threw it over your shoulder. Okay. The big thing about this is that it's a micro fiber towel, and so it's easy to wash, and it comes clean pretty good. And what it is, it's an aggressive texture that you can rub in between the grooves, clean the top, and still clean painted surfaces without trying to scratch them. So this thing, it works on grips, the shafts, everything that you need to do. This is the guy for that. Now, I like the club glove because, well, one, we can get our logo on it, but they also come with a little freebie, and this guy is an 8x12. It's an 8x12 towel, and you can wet it down, and you can clean golf balls with it. Let it be your wet towel for cleaning the golf clubs, or even a grip wherever there's a smudge of dirt. All right, but something like that. Again, in your favorite color. These guys, and I've gotten several from golf courses that just had the logos and whatnot silk screened, right? Silk screened onto there instead of the embroidered logo. All right. So it just depends on what you like, but that's where I would go if you want something that was utilitarian. It was under $25. Goes for $20. So yeah, it's not too bad. All right. Yeah, the towel. It says 19 right there. Yes, it does. See, it's already there. Another one is a golf glove. Right? Golf gloves can go anywhere from $8 to almost $20, depending on the kind. Golf gloves are, massively useful, particularly if you use them. If you can get into the heated hands, if you're playing into the cold, you might get two of them, that kind of thing. Another one is this guy. And this, for those of you that keep the rawhide or keep scorecards, a rawhide scorecard keeper. The rawhide scorecard keeper is kind of cool. It sits in the back, gives you that feel of being like being on the tour. If you keep your scorecard like that, I know there's some out there that do. I do not, but another one that I think would be very, very good. And the last one is kind of is those novelties, the ones that look like gals in bikinis that are holding up the golf club, or whatever shape and size that you can imagine. But all those, those all make good for under $25. I think those are all golf gifts that you would probably use, that would use well, except for maybe the novelty, but the rest of them, not too bad. In the under 50 category, there's a couple. These are a little different. This guy right here. Now, everything I'm showing you, we just went and looked on Amazon. Amazon is like across the planet, so we figured that would be the easiest way to go. And so they have that. I will say this, if you go to the Amazon at McGolf Custom Clubs and you go through that portal and you go and buy this, we ended up getting a bit of a kickback from them if you decide to do that. But anyway, so back to this. You get this barbecue set that's got golf grips on the back of them, and they have these shapes, right? The scooper looks like an iron, and it comes in a bag that looks like a golf bag. So yeah, it's not a bad little setup. I actually got one of those once, and they actually work. I used it until the grip started turning. I suppose I could have fixed it, but by that time, is it a super high durable set? No. But is it something that if you're a part-time griller type person, then yeah, it's perfect for that kind of stuff. You know, me, I'm out of here all the time to the point this was last night. All right. So we had some pulled pork last night. So we go from there. All right. Another one is a whiskey glass, and I will show you this. This one, and I'm not getting sponsored by them, so don't get crazy on me. A bin shot glass, bin shot, and you see, you get it with a golf ball in it, and you can get them in a whiskey glass, you can get them in a wine glass, you can, yeah, you can get them in a beer glass, right? And you can get them with a Titleist in there. I think you can ask for a golf ball of your choice. I send them those because I got the McGolf logo put on them. There we go. So those are kind of fun. So, oh, I am drinking Jameson Orange. Alrighty, so here's what these look like. There you go. So uh, what you see there's the beer glass, and then you see the wine underneath of it. Uh, I was just there. I was just there last night or the night before, and you can get the other ones are right around $22. So and they're all under 50. So, and if you wanted to, the under 50 part, which I did, is you can get a gift case. It comes in a really nice box, and you get two of them, and they're like $44 for what they call a rocks glass. What this is, or the wine. Those you can get as they call them gift sets. You can do that. Okay, another one is literally under $50, a box of golf balls, right? Pick one. I don't know of any that have crested $50 just yet. 48, I've heard 48 and 49, but a box of golf balls, totally useful, easy to wrap, and you know that you're going to get use out of those, right? So hopefully these are things that we're seeing that are useful. All right, the other one is a putter grip, right? We got to go under 50 or even under 20, depending on what kind you buy, right? There are some putter grips out there that are cresting 35 to $40. You go and get a Super Stroke, and then you get the weight kit that goes in it, and you certainly fall into this category. All right. So just using, we got Garson here. All right. This is a nice grip. There are tons and tons of different putter grips to choose from. Uh, I would certainly recommend that for certain. And these are all useful, right? All right. The last one is that I think we would get use of it's from Swig Life. Swig Life, and it's a tumbler. And it's a tumbler that's got like this golf ball look on the outside. This is just an example of it for certain. This Tervis is another company that makes it, and it's basically a Yeti-like tumbler in order to keep your drink hot or cold. And that's the under. So those are the under 50. There we go with that one. All right, for under $100, here we go, under $100. The first one I would recommend is the Putt Out. Now, this is a special edition Putt Out that I got from My Golf Spy. But the My Putt Out is exactly what it is. It's a tool. You can see this if I pull this out. Let's see. It's a putting training tool, and you can use this thing anywhere, on or off the green, on your carpet, whatever it is that you want to do, and it's really kind of it helps you with your tempo, helps you with those different things that you can do. So it looks a lot like this guy. All right, so there you go. Now what this is the where you're aiming is, you're actually aiming up in here, but this is the cup. And what it is, if you hit this thing with just enough roll, the golf ball will lodge itself in here, meaning that you've hit it with the tempo that you want. Now this one has an aggressive foot on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but those are spikes. And there's some spikes right here as well, and then a nice rubber piece. You see it's flexible. This is a metal one. They sell a plastic one that's just shy of $30. Uh, if you struggle with putting like me, that these things can be very, very helpful. Now, taking that, because we're talking about under $100, and it can go in a lot of different direction, is a putting green. Okay, a putting green, and in the putting green, they can go anywhere from like $80, $200. And if you get to the mechanical ones, they can get into the thousands. All right, but from what people have told me, the one that is really out there that people enjoy is called the Well Putt. Right, it's got these graded off places. It's a nice. It's about yay wide and maybe 12 foot long. Has a couple of holes at the end of it, and there's some training ideals that you can do on it. Now, there's not to say that that's the only one. There are several of that kind. Putt Out has their own system that goes with that putt out, and there's gates to use, and they have their own mat, and all of that is excellent as well. If you look again, I'm using my Golf Spy, but I believe it's the Birdie Ball putting green got rave reviews. So a putting green, okay. Another one is more fashion oriented, and it is a golf belt. My favorite is the Next belt, only because they were the first ones I discovered. There are plenty out there that do that, and they're the kind that have the ratcheting, So you have your buckle, and the belt goes in there, and it ratchets, and then it holds on. You can have, and in the belt buckle of the Next belt, there is typically a divot tool, and in their new ones, the Fast Eddies, they have actually a divot repair tool with a bottle opener in it. So it's like a Get Smart kind of thing. Very I Spy stuff, but definitely several different styles, varieties. It's like a one size fits all. They go up to like 46-inch waist, and you trim them to get what you want. So you can never buy the wrong one. So that was my favorite for that one. Another one that's under $100, but you probably get a lot of, and that's more here in the States, is a Trip to Top Golf. All right, a Trip to Top Golf. You guys have seen it. It's typically 3 stories of people just smacking golf balls out into a range, but it's basically where it's adult size golf meets darts meets bowling. And it's basically hitting golf balls into these targeted areas that remind me of a dartboard, and then the scoring applications are very much like bowling. And then they have some. It's good eats and a good atmosphere, to be sure. Okay, and then anything else outside of that would be something like, hats and outer gear and things like that. All right, last one. Here we go. Here we go. The under 500. Under 500. Now there are some we can go above it if you want, but under 500, those little personal launch monitors. There's plenty of those out there under the $500 number, right? There's the FlightScope Mevo, which is the one I would pick, and that's because I'm associated with FlightScope. It's a very, very small one. There is several other ones out there. Rapsodo comes to mind. I believe that's underneath there. And they're portable. You can take them to the range, practice with them, put them inside, and get these numbers, right? Get the numbers that you want for practicing, and they're very, very good. Now you can go well above 500 in that $1,500 to $2,000 range and get the upgrades like the Mevo Pluses, and you got SkyTrax and all these other ones that are a little more engaging and give you more stuff. But for just getting started, if you want to see what you want to do, you're just getting off onto golf, and you want just some pure numbers right out of the box, these little ones do a really good job. All right, another one is a putter. Right? It's funny that you have to say under $500, but as a whole, putters can range anywhere from about 2.25 all the way up to $500 and above, right? Depending on Like this guy right here, if you go, I mean, just by putting that shaft in there is several $100s more. So, you know, even a Scotty would fit into this category. The Toulons would fit into this category. Some Bettinardis, some Perettis. I mean, those are all high-end milled putters, but you can also get some pings that are very, very, you know, at half that cost and still have money left over. Odysseys will be doing that. Oh, I know TaylorMade's got some. I just can't remember the name of them, but something like that, a putter. And you know, if you get one of the ones that aren't busting up against the $500 ceiling, and you get one of the middle range ones, you can get a putter fitting, and to make sure that they're getting the right putter, and then that way it's not a wasted gift. All right, the last bit of it is the last one under the 500, but it's over the 100 mark, is rangefinders or GPSs. All right. As much as I hate to admit it, but rangefinders and GPSs have worked their way into golf as a must have, right? A must have. Everybody wants to know their distances instead of guessing. And a lot of them you will use the watch, and a lot of us will use the rangefinder when I don't leave them on the golf cart. But they run in that 250, 300, and then go up to 400, depending on if you want slope, the magnification that it can use, the manufacturer, you know, the vibrate to let you know that it's made its mark, that kind of stuff. So just keep those in mind. Okay. So that's that. If you got any more questions about that, or if you want to put them over there in the show notes and tell us what you think a good one would be in those categories, go ahead. Let's share it with the group, and we'll go from there. All righty. I think I got it all. Yep, I got it all. Let's go to the top. Here we go. Oh, wow. It's going to be a good night. Here we go. Ray Farrell. What do you say, Ray? Mondays are tough. Just curious if you heard any whispers of a D9 iron replacement. I have. And I've seen it, and it is really nice. We think we talked about it on the last show, and I couldn't. We thought maybe it was the Dynapower. Or is it the Dynapower? I think maybe it would be the one that's replacing it. And I've seen it. It's a similar shape to the D9, maybe just a little not as tall, a little bit more streamlined, and it's going to carry through the whole entire line. So there'll be a driver, fairway hybrid, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's coming, and it does look nice. And Wilson makes a pretty nice iron. So yeah, I think this whole lineup is going to be pretty decent. Matt, how you sit, buddy? When choosing a golf ball, how many look at the softness of the ball? Chrome Soft is my favorite because of the softness and the TrueViz design. All right. So when's he coming down? Is it next? So 2 weeks from today, we're going to have a guest, and it's this guy you're seeing right here on the screen, whether he knows it or not. We're going to make a night out of it. It'll be fun. Very cool. So softness of the golf ball. There's always that argument about the softness of the golf ball, but I will say, if you saw what they went to when Callaway went to the new Chrome Soft update, they actually firmed up the golf ball. And if you look at the density, it only went from say a 90 to a 95. It wasn't like a massive jump, but they did firm it up ever so slightly, and it turned out to be a really good thing for them. Yeah, I like it. I don't, they say it's either the hardest ball you can hit or the softest ball you can hit, whatever you think. But softness incorporated with the durometer of the mantles plus the outer core all play in that. But so I'm just on the opposite. I hit the Max XLS, and that's just for low spin because I'm a spinner of the ball. If you saw how well Matt hit it, you would know why he can hit this one. All right, Jack's in the house. Looking forward to tonight's show. Thank you, sir. Jack, how much does swing weight change if you shorten a 3-wood by an inch? Would you add lead tape to bring back the swing weight? Well, on average, you're looking at about 6 swing weight points, Jack. The very first thing I would do after doing it is go hit it. I would go hit it without weight first and just see whether or not you like that. Okay. You might find out you like it. You might find out that you don't notice it. You know, if you cut it and put it on there, chances are you'll go, oh yeah, that's kind of light, but you won't be like, whoa, it's really light. You won't do that. But if you were to put lead, if you didn't want to take it apart, lead tape is pretty much the easiest way to do it. And the way to do it is, if you're going to do it, depending on the where, if you have something like this in it, you can't obviously do it there, but you would want to do like a piece going this way and then a piece going that way. And if you can't go this way with it, then certainly like that, and keep the weight going down the middle so you're not really impacting too much. But that's where I'd go with that. Not a golfer from Georgia. How are you, buddy? On an adjustable driver, what launch numbers should I look for? Swing speed around 100. Well, Jack, it wouldn't matter on adjustable driver or not. Yeah, but about 100 mile an hour. They say 2,500 to 2,800 is a sweet spot for a lot of people. Now, keep in mind that's all based on an average angle of attack, the type of golf ball you would use, your tee height, and a lot of different things, plus the shaft and all these other things. But those things contribute to angle of attack. So how you're coming into the ball, and on its based on its tee height and the type of the ball will help you in that particular spin category. But if you're hitting it in low end, you'd be right around the 2,000, 2,200. 2,500-ish would be a good number to 28 maybe, and then you start getting out of the scope right around 29 to 3,000. Although 3,000 isn't bad either, it's just not ideal. You can hit one in 3,000, be fine, but if you're just looking for ideal, that 25 to 2,800. All righty. And Matthew's not off. The loft of the driver will contribute to the spin of the driver. But again, as we talk about, if you're a slower swing speed and you get a higher lofted driver and you send it out, it will be a little bit higher, but it won't be like this massively high. So that's where you're going. Hey, look at that. It matter right on the thing. All right, Matt, I look for a certain amount of soft as well. For me, it's the Z-Star. And the Z-Star is a good one, Charlie. It's a good one. I don't see anything wrong with the ball. In fact, the Q-Star is not a bad one either. High of 38 on Saturday, winds 15 mile an hour. Started to snow when we teed off. Completed 18 holes, managed an 85, wearing 3 layers. You are my hero, Charlie. There's no way I would do that. I'd have to have a friggin' thing over my face, the whole 9 yards. Speaking of that, the last bit, when we talk about this, I told you last month or last week that the struggle is real. I was diagnosed with some skin cancer, and they came and got it. So if you look right here, that's it. All right, and that was just this teeny weeny little bitty dot, and that's what they got. Now, it looks worse than it is because it's only 4 days old, so it's still healing. But the doctor did a really good job. If you got real close to it, the only thing you're seeing is the discoloration. Actually, the rest of it's not too bad. So they did real good. So skin cancer is real, particularly for us golfers. Wear your sunscreen. And there's my paid medical advertisement that I didn't get paid for. Okay. Also, while we're doing this, if you would, like and subscribe. Hit that bell down below so that you get more of the notifications as they come out. And the more of this goes out there, more of this word gets out there to the folks. All right, no golf on Sunday as the course was under a blanket of snow. Whoa, we haven't had any yet. It's all been 40s and 50s, but we've had a lot of rain, so not too bad. There's our buddy Matt from last week. How you doing, partner? I did get the video you sent me. That's impressive. I'd hate to see that be your backyard. For those of us not in the know, Hawaii had a volcano get active or more active, and It was bubbling everywhere, so it got some attention, I'm sure. Kent, what do you say, sir? He's playing the TP5 at the moment. And, well, maybe if it wasn't forecast for 5 degrees Fahrenheit over here, of course, it's like playing on the freeway. Very much so, sir. Very much so. Peter, he's in Myrtle Beach. Cooler, but they're still playing golf. Dude, I imagine there's people down there that you guys get that year round, even with the cooler weather. You just get the northerners come down there and they just get after it. But good for you, bud. Good for you. And again, thank you for that super sticker last time. All right, golf. Kent Nicholson. Golf. Just look at the bounce that you would get off the fairway. Yeah, that's true. For certain. Matty J. What do you say, man? Gift for my kids this year is a subscription to the Golfer's Journal. There you go. That's a good one. I have talked about that one because last year, Mrs. McGolf got me a membership with Alaska Golf, which I probably would like to get again too. What do you mean too late? It's not too late. It's never too late. All right. Ken says it's mental. Debbie is hitting a driver 100 yards. Oh my goodness. All right. Not a golfer. All right. He says my 2 Jumbo Max Ultralight straight 8 grips arrived today. We'll test the 2 sizes to see which one will be the new grip. Well, good for you. My question for you, not a golfer, would be is are you planning on putting a little disc in the back of the straight 8 for your, when they got those little like Arcos or the golf, what is it called, golf game or game golf, the little discs that go in the back, because that's what those things are supposed to accept. It'd be neat to hear about that. David Jones, what do you say, sir? So now that you're closing the golf range, what's the plans for the range? We're gonna mow it. We don't really have too much planned just yet. I've always liked the idea of putting a pond out there, but that probably will not happen either. We'll just probably keep it nice and mowed. I'm going to take out all the yardage markers and all the other stuff, and it'll be kind of unique to be able to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth without having to stop. And then, so instead of, when we initially started mowing it, I had a Steiner, which was a articulated mower that was in the middle, and that was a 5-hour round of mowing that thing. And then we got the 0 turns. Then it turned into a 3.5 hour. That was how much time speed and being able to turn fast did for us. And then all you had to do was dodge the yardage marker and stop for golf balls and that kind of thing. So now we won't have to stop and we won't have to do anything. I'm kind of hoping we can knock it down another 30 minutes. That would be a lot of fun. All righty. My dog Rex. It's 75 on the patio, golf. There's that Texas stuff again. Well done, bud. Well done. One does have to allow for different distances. Yes, they do. 200 yards. Ah, that makes more sense. Danny, what do you say, buddy? Hope everything's okay. Peace, love, and barbecue. You got to like that as a thing there. Paul Van Vliet, sorry. Yesterday I missed a spectacular hole-in-one by 6 strokes. That's pretty good, buddy. That's really good. All right. Hopefully now you should be fully recovered from your surgeries and hopefully everything is going well. Justin Donaldson, great to see you both. Happy holidays. Same to you, sir. Same to you. All right. There he goes. David Jones. Now, okay, we got that one. Oh, what's the plans for the range balls and the equipment? Well, once we're all said and done, we'll probably clean it up and we'll sell them. All right. We've had some interest from local golf courses because our machine can use pin numbers or cards, or you can just use a credit card machine in order to get out there. And we've got enough golf balls to fill it up about, I'm going to say, halfway. And if you filled this thing all the way to the top, it's a 12,000 ball machine. And so we got about half of that many. Plus, it's got a washer, and then we got all the mats and the ball picker and whatnot. So we're just waiting to see who's interested. Bill, what do you say? Sent my wedges. All right. You see that? Bill sent his wedges. Okie dokie. Here we go. Bill Blessing, what do you say, sir? Hello, how are you? All righty. Matt, question, wanting to get on tour as a club builder. All righty. Currently running a side business working on clubs. Does anybody have advice or words of wisdom to help me with my future career? Yes, and it's not going to sound anything like you wanted to hear. If you want to get on tour as a club builder, you need to get your CDL. The CDL is a commercial driver's license. All right. The club builders on site are also drivers. All right. And in a lot of cases, you will find that they're more driver than they are builder. And so you got to have your CDL. You get that, and it'll be fine. A lot of what they do is that you have to. If you're going to talk to any of them, the Wilsons, the Bridgestones, the Srixons, all these guys, if they have that, what you really, really want to impress upon them is your tolerance, your tight tolerances that you would work to, that kind of stuff, and being very flexible to the needs of the golfer. But outside of that, if you can, a lot of them will help you out. It's a very tight knit group out there, bunch of good guys actually, but get your CDL. All righty. Duque, hello from Pennsylvania. Have you tried the new Mizuno driver yet? If so, thoughts? No, I have not. I've seen it. I know what's going on inside of it, and it looks really, really nice. They took out this part, and they filled it full of this blue, I don't even know, a polymer of some variety, some blue polymer, and they moved some stuff around on the inside. It's still a spin killer. I think it's going to be just a hair softer in its feel, and it will get the ball out there just fine. And it'll have a very similar look on the top. So, and they're in the Z and the X, so the standard and the draw bias. All right. L. Calvin, what do you say, buddy? What shaft extensions do I need for an SM Vokey wedge? Standard shaft, wedge flex, 0.600. Well, if it's a 600 butt, that's the extension that you need. So the extender piece will go in, and it'll go in so that it will fit into the shaft, and then the exterior should be a smoother transition. So if you know it's a 600, you just need a 600 one, and get a steel one. Right? When I do these, I like doing the steel for steel, graphite for graphite, and that's just to keep the feel. Could you do them the other way? Yes. However, when we do the steel ones, I always feel like it turns into a saw because the edges are flared and it can cut the graphite strands, and I just don't like that. Can you put the graphite in the steel? For certain, I just don't like the fit. I think the steel ones fit better. There you go. So, but yeah, get the 600. And if you're going to extend them, I will give you a bit of a warning. I wouldn't go much more than an inch to an inch and a half. Outside of that, you start wiggling the end and you can cause it to come loose after you glue it. Danny Freeman, thank you, sir. $4.99 for the super sticker. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it very, very much. That's pretty impressive. Thank you. All right. Are you doing any fittings with TPT golf shafts? No, I am not, Justin. For where I'm at and the amount of people that I see, which I do see quite a few now, The TPT is just outside of most people's budgets. It very well may be one of the nicest shafts that are made out there, but it becomes very cost prohibitive.
Did you talk about the reshaft of the VJs, the zone shafts that we shipped to?
I don't think we did. Yeah, did we talk about it last week?
No, they just shipped it out.
Oh, well, we did. Just keeping the vein of the unique shafts. We just reshafted 2 Cleveland wedges with that new zone shaft that we did the video on, and they turned out pretty nice. So I'm happy with those. All right. Yeah, we did check out the video of the eruption. I ended up putting it up. Putting it up on YouTube. Yeah, we did. We got to see it. That was something else. Free golf Christmas Day at the Villages with Dad. Now, there you go. That'd be it. That's a heck of a deal. Well done. Matthews, standard shaft extensions off Golfworks should work. Truly, but you need the 600 that they have. They have several different sizes, plus they've got a universal one. And just do it the standard one at the 600 butt will work just fine. Well, what was in it, Matt, is was a Jameson Orange, and it's actually really nice. Yes, even Robin likes it, which has now made my level in my bottle go down even faster. Travis K, do you fit for TaylorMade? They have a new fitting system, allows for loft and lie. No need help understanding it. I do not have a fitting system with them. I don't even have an account with TaylorMade. I know that they have what they call the Kingdom. They have the Kingdom where you can go and they put the sensors on you for that. But their new one, I don't know. If it allows for loft and lie, and if you're talking irons, a lot of them do. They'll have an upright, a standard, and a flat, and then they'll have standard. Now, if they're giving you stronger or weaker, I'm not sure what that would do for you other than, if you wanted to hit it a little lower or whatnot, but you could probably do that in a normal fitting. Justin, there we go. Matt, I've got one of those towels from the PGA show at least 10 years ago. Nice that it's just easy to hang on a club. There we go. There's Matt. He's back telling us hi. Bill telling us thanks. Marj should have reshafted and regrouped it. Or regripped it. Yep. There's Mr. Stephen Polsky. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us. Danny, again, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. When my wife asked what I wanted for Christmas, I said a club glove towel. There you go. 'Tis the season, no eggnog. I have never in my life been an eggnog kind of guy, to the point I don't even know what it tastes like. I've never had it. I have not. I don't know. I've never had it. Never had it. I got the other one right over there. Nope, never had it. Nope. 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 Don't give me that. All right. She's in there. Matt. Bullet Rye was become my favorite. I pretty much stopped drinking now, and now I'm no fun. Bullet's a pretty big deal out here too. My son likes it. The other one, we were just trying to figure out what the name of that other one was that was real popular, and it just left me. The other bourbon that was also starts with a B, and we had it with the old fashions. Oh, I don't know. No. And it'll come to me here in a little bit. All right. Z Star balls are on sale for $34.99. Definitely below the $50 that we were talking about. All right. Yes, that's right. We're putting a green shaft in there for Mr. Steven, and we got that other one ready to go, so we're good there. That was the last good day of viewing before it really showed up. Oh,
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace. That's the other one, right?
Jack helped us out.
There we go. Duque, my golf gift under 10,000, a golf simulator. That would be nice. Yes, it would. And you know what? It's getting to the point where you can actually build one for underneath that and it still be really nice. You know, there's some major components that you have to decide on when you do that. One is the cage. How big a cage, how tall a cage, or even the place where you're going to project your screen that's going to receive the golf ball. All that is one piece. You know, you've seen some where you go into those simulator booths where the the depth of the depth of the box that you stand in is at least 12 foot deep, maybe 10 foot. Okay, but when you're in the house, that may not be very realistic. And sometimes you see the impact area and maybe a 5 foot skirt all the way around as you're hitting into it. Now those are allowed when you have the next component, which is the thing that is going to detect you and the golf ball, whether it be the Mevo or the Flight Scope or the TrackMan or the Quad or the All About Golf or About Golf or any of those other ones that depending on how they detect you. And then the next one is the projector. And the projector can, depending on what you really want out of it, can make or break the feel of your entire setup. Now, for me, I got what was one of the more popular ones, and it works just fine. However, it is severely underpowered in lumens because of this thing behind me. When I get light streaming in, it dulls it down. I turn off all the lights or whatever, and it shows up just extraordinarily well. But then it's like you're swinging in a bar. We don't want that. So you project that. And then finally, the last thing you want to do is something that you're going to hit off of. You know, normally they give you those little stance mats and they're cheap and they're about this big. And that's okay to get started. But if you're going to do this quite a bit, you're going to start getting wrist, elbow, and shoulder problems, and you need a really good hitting mat. So those are the ones I'd be looking at. And you can really do that. Again, I'm going off of what I saw. If you Flight Scope had a package, or for the cage and the thing that would hold the projector and all that stuff, it's about 3,500. And then you have to get I don't know if the stance mat came with it or not, but you can get one of those from say Fiberbuilt in the $400 to $700 range, and then you're into your projector. And in the Mevo, you can use a Mevo Plus. So there's 1,200, if 12 to 15, and then the projector costs you between 4 and 8. So you're still under the 10 grand. All right. Tame Spider. Uh-oh. Justin, he's in a Merry Christmas to you, sir. Or JT Wilson, sorry. Yep. Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing all right. My golf gift would be spending time in Waverly learning all I can about the game. Well, hopefully we can make it worth your while, Matt. Hopefully it works out. Any favorite golf books? Well, you know what? I always like a good golf book. Right? I finished we went to Pinehurst. Robin got one on the history of Pinehurst and getting the golf courses in. We read that one. A Good Walk Spoiled is another one. I'm more of a history kind of guy. The last one I read was the story on old Tom Morris and him going through his family. I really enjoyed that one. And now I am looking. It's the Science of Golf. I like the Scientific Congress of Golf, but this one is more about crunching some numbers. And he's the guy that goes against the drive for show, putt for dough philosophy. He's like drive it as far as you can, let everything else fall back philosophy. So I'm starting to read some of his, and we'll go from there. And I got a nice putting book from the makers of Capto, and the gentleman that is the inventor of that. And it's really interesting to read that he's got, and it's very artistic. So yeah, there's a few. Gift certificates at McGolf? Well, yeah. Well, Bill, thank you so much for leading me into that. Yes, gift certificates whether they're from McGolf or they're from your local store, or your local course, or whatever, they will always fit, no matter what. And I think those are also great options for your golfer, whether they want to get a fitting or they want to get some golf equipment or accessories for that matter. Here we go. Vin Nigen. I have a 105 steel shaft in my Mizuno Pro 225s. If I switch out to the UST Dart 75, will that affect the swing weight? The answer to that is yes. Yes, it will. You're 30 grams. So on the average, somewhere around between 3 and 4 swing weight points lighter. However, just like I was saying beforehand, when you go to switch, just go and hit them and see if you can tell the difference. Yes, you'll feel the total weight difference, but you very well may not feel a swing weight difference. And put them in there and then see what happens. Matt, we're gonna have some fun, guys. In 2 weeks, come ready for your questions. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, as they would say. It's gonna be fun. All right, the club brush that squirts water that I got from you is great. Yes, it is. That's another one. Certainly under the $25 range. The little the club brush. I think that's what they call it. No, the brush it tool. And it's got the little squirter, and it is an extraordinarily nice brush. I would certainly consider that a top one. There's Chris. How you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you for a while. What are some low spinning golf ball under $30 a dozen? No, let's see. Low spinners. Well, let's see. When you get under $30 a dozen, low spin doesn't normally come into the category. I'm just trying to think of where we would be.
Is that your LS ball?
Well, that's not under $30 though.
No, I'm just starting with that.
Yeah, the LS ball, any of those, you might be able to get away with. You're running around, like we were saying earlier, the $34.99, the Q stars, the Z stars are that. The Q stars are going to be less, so you might find yourself at that $29.99 level. You might look at the Bridgestone in the E12, maybe. The E12 would probably be a good one. We're right on the ragged edge of that $30 mark. There's the RX 330. They have a 330S, but in Bridgestone, S means spin, so you want the other one. I'm sure Titleist has one in their lower in the velocity types, maybe, and that's where I would go with it. In the under $30 range, that's probably where I would go. And then I would look another one that might work out pretty decent. That's an unsung hero is the Wilson Triad. I might try that one as well. All right. Charles is a legend. There you go. All right. One for you. Congratulations on a speedy recovery. Jock, I like the Q-Star Tours. The Vice Soft it really performs for me. I get a lot of carry with it. There you go. There's some more. Same here from Northeast New York. I got about 2-3 inches yesterday and overnight. Ooh wee. Oh, so he's talking about the snow. Yeah. Very good. Ivan Nick. All right. I'm in the market for new irons. I was looking at the Hanma, the Tour World, I think is what that stands for, which is forged player's cavity. Which do you think is best? So Ivan, if you're looking at forged players cavity style clubs, there are several out there, right? There's a bunch. They all Callaway makes one in not necessarily in the Apex, but they have it's the Ford X Forged. The Titleist has one in their TS line. TaylorMade has one in this, I believe there's 770s. Wilson has one in the CB range, which I think is really, really nice. Srixon has one in all their ZX lines. The ZX7 or 5 is a forged club. Mizuno in their 223 is a very fine cavity back. And what's coming out here at the beginning of the year will be their hot metal forged and their hot metal tour, which I believe is both of those will be forged clubs. Those are all very, very nice clubs. Now, in comparison to Hanma, and I only know this from a popularity standpoint, although Hanma is made to very, very tight tolerances, is price for performance, will just say you may find yourself better off looking at, say, a Mizuno or even whatever in that particular category, that you might do okay with those just as much. There's nothing wrong with, as long as they're fit to you, right? As long as they're fit to you, you're sure to get the best performance out of them, and that's the important part. All right.
Quick question, was Rashawn 770 or 771? Remember that iron?
771. Well, there was both.
Oh, was there a 770?
Yeah, I believe there were.
Oh, that's what Matt's saying.
All right. Talking balls. I would start playing the TM Tour Response. Both green stripe and plain white, definitely like it, and we'll continue to roll with it. Very good. There's another one. Well done. Thanks for the input, guys. Dave, what would you say in Chile, Michigan? Yeah, it's gonna. I don't think we're gonna see too many more warm days for a while, bud. Game the Z Stars. Yeah, I don't see this being too bad. Darren Martell, what do you say, sir? You mentioned you tried a few different Jumbo Max grips before making the decision. What did you go with, and what size was your hand to fingertip? I'm curious. I went with the smalls, Darren. I went with the smalls, and I fit into an extra large glove. Okay, if you use what they said on there, I was supposed to use like a large grip for them, and I get where they're going with that. It just, for me, and where all golfers are traditional, it was just a little too big. Okay. However, just like I was showing you at the beginning of the program, what we made for the Master Chief, his hands were slightly smaller, and he instantly gravitated towards the mediums. He liked those, and I gave him a chance to check them out, and he instantly gravitated toward them, and he hit them really well. Right, he hit them very, very well, and that's what we were looking for. And so each person's a little different. I guess the more traditional you are, the harder it will be go big, big. But as soon as I hit a couple and I just got relaxed, I started hitting mine very well. All right, not a golfer, thinking about doing shot scope sensors. Yeah, there's another one. The Arcos system, the Game Golf, the shot scopes, all those things that you can get in there in the back. Yeah. Yeah. Jock used the ultralight medium and love them. I can't see ever going back. The ultralight version of the Straight 8 Tech doesn't have the Arcos insert, though. Only the ultralight version. I thought the Straight 8 Tech had it. Which one has the space in the back? I thought the Straight 8 had those. Where they had the opening in the back? Because the ultralights I've got are just big humps on there. Yeah. The ultralight version. Oh, the ultralight version of the Straight 8 doesn't. Okay, I get you now. The Tour one probably does. Yeah, I'm with you now. Yep. You're correct. Should you do a best of 22 top sellers graphs, golf ball video? Great to see what the fitting sellers would be, or 22 would be. Okay, I think we can do that. Orlando Jack, I'll be watching. Okay. Jonathan Weaver, what do you say, bud? Oh, look at that. That's kind of a cool little thing you got going on there. Do you happen to know if GolfWorks might be reopening their Club Repair Academy 2023? It's been closed to 2020. I don't know. We have talked about that. I've talked with Britt a few times, and I think they're actually looking for somebody to actually do it. I mean, and what I mean by doing it is by giving the class. But it's a wonderful ideal that they do out there, and it's an excellent service that they provide. And I'd really like to see them come up. I know they're considering it. I just don't know if they're going to do it. All right, that would definitely be a great video. Yeah. All righty. Dennis Hood, how are you, sir? Daryl Carpenter, thank you for staying up so late again. Jolly Winters arrived. Only golf now is in the garage sim with the Mevo Plus. There you go, and the GS Pro, thankfully. So what do you think of the Mevo Plus? Do you like it? I mean, I've seen it in action. I think for what you get out of it, it's definitely a big bang for buck kind of unit. There's Matt. Similar to the way we went is the way to go for butt extenders. Make sure you clean the inside of the hosel. That is correct, sir. Justin Donaldson, I'll send you an email. We can chat more about TPT. Okay. Yeah, I'm always interested. I'm always game to hear what's going on out there because it just sometimes that stuff just surprises the living tar out of you. Just like these zone shafts for wedges. They've been just real popular here as of late. And I just got, so you guys know, they just sent me one of the stability shafts for a putter. And I've got a putter coming. When this all shows up, this is going to be a string of videos on putters, on weight and distributions. It's going to be really neat. Oh yeah, Matt, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Mark Reed, really enjoy your content. We appreciate your comments on the pros and cons of installing grips with an air compressor. My limited results have been pretty positive. Okay. So, positive with installing with air is that once you get them on, you're allowed to use them immediately. Okay, that's the number one thing. Getting them off is also a much of a positive. If you get in right and you blow them up and they come off way faster than a knife and having to clean up after all that. The con to installing them with air is the equipment. You need to get an air compressor, you need to get a line, you need to get the gun. It needs to be able to have enough capacity to do the grips. Obviously, it'll get to the pressure. And the only other one is that I don't believe you can do all the grips with air. Always used to be that the synthetic grips which had an underlisting on them were very argumentative when it came to putting the grips on, because what it does, the whole idea of air is that it expands the grip so that you can slide it down the shaft and then the air disappears. The underlisting on a lot of grips is very firm, and it doesn't want to do that, and that's the reason why you have blowouts, right? And you may not be able to do them all. Now, as I've seen in the past, the best way to do it in a lot of cases, that if I was to really take this on, I would put painter's tape down, and then I would dip the end of the grip in some grip solvent and then slide it on. And that's just to get it so it would slide really easy. That's just bing, bump, and put it on. Would you need to? No, not necessarily. It would just be the process I would use. Now, for the way of normal gripping, gripping, it's been around for ages. The cleanup is very, very messy, uh, but you can put it on, and then it gives you time to set it, and that's really where the difference is. It's a guy with air. If you both started with clean shafts, and you had to put them on, and a guy was knowledgeable with air, the guy with air would be done very, very, very fast, where the guy with the tape and the solvent would still be working. All right. Tastes like Christmas. Yes, it does.
He's talking about eggnog.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the Jameson.
No.
Ha ha ha.
He's talking
Stiff
about
eggnog is delicious. Well, maybe we'll have to try that. Ed graduated Scotch from Scott and the bourbon recently. There you go. I'll go with that. Buffalo Trace. That's it, Jack. That was the one I was looking for. All righty. Yes, it'll make it lighter by about 3.5 to 4 peats. And you're from Cleveland. So, hey, you're up there near Matt. Elijah Craig is a good bourbon. I've heard that as well. I've seen that Blanton is a good one too. These are just all names that are coming to me. I spent all that time fixing my, learning my scotches, and now the only reason why I switched over is because I like a old fashioned, and that's it. So it's pretty good. Matt, rye is a bit more spicy, less sweet than the bourbon. Great with barbecue. Uh-oh. If you add your favorite libation to eggnog, it really dresses it up nicely. Oh, we might have to try that. Matt, Jim would like that. I don't drink it if it's sweet. He's spicy or sad. What? Oh, I don't think so, Missy. All right, Darren Mattel, you mentioned that you went to Jumbo Max Grips and loved them and tried a few sizes before deciding on one. What length is? Oh, we asked that one too. I wish do you have a ruler? Yeah. We'll check. When we get to that, Darren, I'll measure one and I'll tell you. All right. Bull has been my favorite rye, regardless of the price. There you go. Matt, I read Byron Nelson's book, How I Played the Game. Worst book I ever read, but I read it in its entirety out of a total respect for Mr. Byron Nelson, a humble man. Yeah, he was. Byron Nelson was he was a good man. He really, really was. All right, so look at here. This is a Jumbo Max fitting tool, and when I put my hand on it, I'm just at the very top of the medium, bottom of the stiff. So I actually went with a small. Could I have gotten to the medium? Probably, but the small just felt better to me. So there's something to look at. All righty. Dan Gimmel from Delaware. What do you say, sir? Thank you for joining us. All right. There you go. Digital level can be a really good training tool for learning how to read greens. Yep, that is true. Z Star Diamond is a low spinning ball and is on sale for $34.95. There we go, bud. Get us close to $30. Mr. Nugent played Kirkland 3 pieces, and he liked those. My dog Rex says the Vice balls are under 30. Joe Dennis got a sleeve of E12s at a golf tournament. They were surprisingly good compared to the Pro Vs and TB5s. So the E12 is probably they all go by their tour level ball, right? So they got the B tours, of course. Tiger's playing on that one, and they got the RX for the slower swing speeds. However, they probably sell way more E12s, and it's a price for performance. Back in the day when the RX ball was all the rage and the E6 was all the rage, I went out and tested them. They were 3 yards apart, and it was like $12 a dozen difference. So it was $1 a ball cheaper for 3 yards. You make up your mind. All righty. Matt, I remember when a dozen Titleist Bellows were $10. Hey, did you read the Captain Clubmaker book? I did.
2 times because we got 2 books.
Yep, 2 times. We got it, one signed for Robin and one signed for me. All right, I'm with you, Matt. Matt says softer balls and cooler temperatures felt better and performed better. I'd have to agree. 770s, they stole our name. Yeah. The 779, yeah, I wouldn't, that wouldn't bother. Yeah, I'd have to agree. Do you think Big Hogan Golf is gone? Is that Big is gone forever? Or they make a comeback again? If they do come back again, MLH, they will only come back as a direct-to-consumer company. They've had their day twice, and unfortunately, they failed miserably both times. And it's unfortunate, but they also left the original, what made Ben Hogan Golf. Yes, they had blades. Yes, they were very good. They're also making a very good impression, very much like Mizuno did. They're known for making a good iron, a very good player's iron, but that was a small segment of the golf company or the golf public. And they had to make a forgiving club like the JPXs. Well, Hogan did the same thing well before Mizuno did, and it just spring loaded them forward. And they needed to start working on woods. Well, then we all know what the history of that is. When they came back, they were more of this blade like club that was supposed to be ultra forgiving. And to an extent, it was. I don't know about ultra forgiving, but uh, it was well liked, but I don't think it was well ran. And then this next group came in and took it over. And I assume they were doing very well. They had more models to choose from, and they were building direct to consumer. I just think it got a stigma attached to them, and they just couldn't survive it. And I would also agree. I'm 55 and it's hard to time. There we go. Matt makes it easy to use numbers, not copyright for TM. There we go. Jock, second from Delaware. Well done. We're getting a Delaware contingency now. Libra 9. It's been a while, my friend. Hello, sir. How are you? Talking about golf balls, would you please give me your opinion on Vice Golf Ball Company? Hit a few last week, not bad. And that's about what I would tell you too, Libra 9. The not bad. I've hit some Vice balls. They were not an attention getter for me. However, I will say I've had other folks buy them and were just totally impressed. Totally impressed with them. Now, I may have gotten some of the first generations and they've since improved upon them. That always happens, right? Much like the Mizuno, the first generation of Mizuno was extraordinarily horrible. But this next generation they got is definitely something worth looking at. So the Vice ball is there. Oh, I'm getting the motion, guys. Here we go. Started playing when I was 10 back then. Max Fleet Blue Dot. Yep, there you go. All right. 30 of you watching haven't clicked the like yet. What is your problem? There you go. I'll second that. Well done. Thank you, sir. All right. You guys are the best custom building power couple. Oh, we're a power couple now. Ooh, ah. Here we go. I'm getting the fist bump. There it is. All right. Michael Barber, how you doing? Late to the party. I'm afraid feeling under the weather. Well, get better, Mr. Michael. Get better. That's what we want to do, right? In the UK, I guess you're staying home whether you like it or not. And I would suggest that in our current day and age with all the stuff that's going on, you're probably just better off. Frank Powell, hello from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Oh, I murdered that one. I know it. I murdered it.
You know that. That's our Mississippi BG zone.
Oh, okay. I'll be getting back to you shortly with on putting and the new shafts for my wedges. Keep up the good work. Very, thank you, sir. We got those zones waiting on you, brother. Darren Martell, what particular grip was it, Jim? It was the, if you're talking about the one I went to for Jumbo Max, it was the ultralight small. The only reason being is between the tour when I did the testing, they're both the same size. And one was about 4 yards longer than the other and a much tighter pattern. And that was it. If you look up the Jumbo Max, you can see what we did with it. All righty. Orlando Jack, looking forward to the putter video. I'm collecting and restoring old blades. Those things are sweet. Love the style and the new ones. They look like George Jetson's car. You would not. If you're looking for an argument, yeah, you're going to the wrong spot, man. Good deal. All right. Nag. There we go. Terry Lehey. How you doing? You guys are doing a great job. Well, thank you. And you are welcome too, Ivan. All right, here we go. We got a couple left, and then we got to get going. Got the Mevo Plus and the Pro package for under $3,000 and under 3,000 pounds. It was first class, very few misreads, even good for putting. That's what I've always wondered about that unit, whether or not it would be good for putting. Did a DIY sim with a PAL, including the cage impact screen projector, hitting mat for less than another 2,000 pounds. Would recommend. Great fun. So for about 5,000 pounds, which around here is probably going to be about 6,500, you got yourself a quality setup. Well done. Devil's Cut. They just came out with what was it? Jack Daniels came out with the 100 bonded. I'm wondering what that's all about. They say it's 100 proof whiskey. That would be something. Joe Denso, Templeton Rye. I've heard of that one too. Here you go. New Mizuno golf balls, really good one. Just so happens, Michael, I did a video on them. If you go back, it's one of the last ones I did. Much better than the first generation, and I think they're well suited. It's definitely, but I think the way that they've got them marketed, they're backwards, in my opinion. Missed the deadline. Unfortunately, I would agree. All right, we're down to the bottom. Here we go. Robert Kennedy. What do you say, partner? There's a whole lot of talk about going down into Pinehurst, I see. That's should arrive tomorrow. Do your magic. I certainly will, sir, and thank you for getting on there.
We got him today.
Oh, well, we got him today, Mrs. McGolf says. So we'll be working on them throughout the week. We'll see what we got to do for you. Yep. And the only thing we need to know is if you're logo sensitive, if you want them turned, if you want them in a certain orientation, if you want spine and flow. Yep, the Halloween shafts. I remember. So let us know what you want to do with that one, Robert, and then we'll go from there. All righty, last one. Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. We'll have to take a look at that one. All right, this is a new world record. 22 minutes over. Almost an hour and a half. That was well done. There we go. We're getting closer to the one-on-one, so apparently we helped a little bit out. That's always a good thing. Okay, guys, again, watch for the video. I'll probably come back. It won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be the next day. And I'm starting talking about putting. In this particular one, we're talking about back weighting and if it does anything for you. And we're going to be talking about that. Plus, I've got some assemblies that I want to show folks, some basic how to build a driver stuff, and we should be good to go. So we'll have plenty going on. Plus, end of year stuff, end of year in review. Man, we just got all kinds loaded up. So again, all you guys and gals, thank you for watching from around the world. I appreciate it very, very much. And as always, let's see your scores go low.